Chapter 2. Fundamentals of Ayurveda. 5 elements and 3 doshas or humors. As long as we are not living in harmony with nature and our constitution, we cannot expect ourselves to be really healed. Ayurveda gives us the means. David Frawley. The 5 elements is a concept most basic and fundamental in Ayurveda. Man, believed to be an offspring of cosmic consciousness, is thus one with all the elements. The 5 elements, space, air, fire, water, and earth, are believed to be found in the composition of and are of existence in every human being as well. Aside from that, it is also believed that the 5 basic elements exist in all matter as well. A concrete example is the element water, which can turn solid, liquid, steam, ether. This only proves that all 5 elements originated from the energy coming from cosmic consciousness, proving that energy, matter, and man are one. Man and the 5 elements. In Ayurveda, man is viewed as a microcosm of nature. This simply means that what is found in the nature can also be found in man, for he is a miniature of nature. This concept may explain why man's psychological tendencies, bodily functions, and senses are all directly related to Ayurveda's 5 elements. These manifestations are said to have a sequence, which starts with space from the cosmic consciousness, which is the source of all. The 5 elements. Space, sometimes referred to as ether, and is manifested in humans as the spaces in the nose, mouth, respiratory tract, abdomen, thorax, cells, and capillaries. It can be described as subtle, empty, omnipresent, all-pervading, and light. Space is also known as non-moving, formless, and universal. It is nuclear energy and appears when the consciousness begins to vibrate, for it is associated with sound and man's sense of hearing. Man needs space in order to grow, live, communicate, and move. Psychologically, space is responsible in giving man freedom, expansion of consciousness, love, peace, separation, insecurity, fear, anxiety, and isolation. Air. The second cosmic element is air. It can also be defined as moving space. Air is clear, light, dry, and mobile. It is an element of movement. Although air is an electrical energy, electron movement is because of air element, and is formless. It can be perceived by touch, where it is related. Air expresses itself in humans in the movement of the muscles, stomach walls, and intestines, the expansion and contraction of the lungs, pulsations of the heart, and other sensory and motor and neural movements. The air principle enables man to breathe, ingest, and breathe. Thus, thoughts, happiness, excitement, freshness, will, desire are all governed by this element. Fire, the third element, and has the sun and the solar power as its source. Fire is penetrating, hot, sharp, and dry. In the human body, the source of this element is the metabolism. When the element air begins to move, it produces, because of friction, the element of fire, which generates heat. Fire can be classified as a radiant energy, as it is changeable and active. In humans, the element of fire regulates body temperature, absorption, digestion, and assimilation. It is also associated with vision, intelligence, understanding, recognition, transformation, appreciation, and attention. But if imbalance is present, the element fire is responsible for hatred, envy, anger, competitiveness, and ambition. Water, the 4th element, and is manifested in bodily secretions, mucous membranes, salivary glands, in plasma and cytoplasm, and digestive juices. Water is chemical energy and the universal solvent. It is also fluid, cold, soft, viscous, and dense. Water is considered to be the next manifestation of man's consciousness. This is because water holds molecules together. It is necessary to maintain life, for without it, human cells would not survive. The water element is responsible for love, contentment, and compassion, while it can also create edema, thirst, and obesity. Earth, the fifth element present in the cosmos that is also found in man. The characteristics of this element are heavy, rough, bulky, dense, slow-moving, and it is neither hot nor cold. It is physical or mechanical energy. This particular element makes life on Earth possible, as it holds or makes structures for all living and non-living things. Ayurveda believes that this element is nothing but solidified or crystallized consciousness. In the human body, it gives strength, stamina, and structure to the bones, nails, teeth, skin, etc. The earth element is responsible for support, forgiveness, groundedness, and growth. In return, it also creates depression, attachment, and greed. May it be man's outer or inner environment, the balance between the five elements discussed above are forever shifting and changing with the seasons of the earth, time of the day, weather, and even during every stage in man's life. In order to maintain one's health, man continuously needs to adapt to these changes, whether it be a change in clothes, food choices, or lifestyle. A balancing act, as Ayurveda terms it. The three doshas, or humors. The five elements integral to Ayurveda can be further categorized to what is known as three doshas or humors, namely Vata, Pitta, and Kapha. This is because the great elements is said to combine to form three basic energies, which is ever present in everything and everybody. These doshas or humors basically rule man's psychobiological functions. Space and air element combines as Vata. Fire and water combined is Pitta, while water and earth combined is Kapha. Vata, Pitta, and Kapha is believed to be present in every human cell, tissue, organ, and bodily system. It is the imbalance between these doshas that causes diseases to emerge. The doshas or humors also govern human emotions. When there is balance, it is said that noble qualities such as love, compassion, and understanding manifests. But when an imbalance happens, and disturbances such as poor lifestyle choices, stress, environmental factors such as pollution and improper diet, is present, negative emotions such as greed, anger, and fear dominates. Ayurveda comes into play in maintaining and keeping the balance between the three doshas. Each human being has in him the three doshas or humors, but has it in a sequential arrangement. One dosha appears to be dominant than the other two. One is secondary, and one becomes the least prominent in the sequence. The sequencing of the prominence of the doshas is an individual and unique, and has an effect primarily to one's pattern of energy, which makes up one's individual constitution. This pattern is integral to a trained practitioner of Ayurveda, as it becomes the basis of understanding one's disease. Health is largely dependent on the balance of the three doshas or humors in an individual, as the interplay of the three determines order and disorder in bodily functions. To understand better the role of the three doshas or humors, each is discussed below. Vata, air. This dosha is the energy of movement. Although it is closely associated, the air principle in Ayurveda is not considered the same as the actual air humans know present in their environment. Rather, Vata is defined as the subtle, gentle energy that is responsible for biological movement. It is also closely related to man's vital life essence, known as prana. Prana is actually the pure essence of Vata, or can also be defined as the life force. It takes the role of intelligence necessary for the communication between cells in the body. Vata is responsible for regulating all mental and physiological activity in one's body. Its role includes making sure of the regular beating of the heart, blinking of eyes, and movement of cytoplasm and cell membranes. When there is balance, Vata invokes the feeling of lightness, joy, and happiness. When there is imbalance, Vata creates fear, tremors, spasms, and anxiety. Pitta, fire. When translated means fire, but in Ayurveda, it is not what is meant literally. Pitta rather has the principles of fire for its energy that is responsible for heating or metabolism. The qualities of Pitta are sharp, hot liquid, oily, spreading, sour, and pungent. This dosha governs all biochemical changes that occur in human bodies. It regulates absorption, digestion, body temperature, and assimilation. In modern biology, Pitta can be associated to enzymes and amino acids that are integral in the process of metabolism, thus promotes appetite, digestion, and food processes inside the body. When there is balance, Pitta creates understanding and intelligence, and thus is crucial for learning. When there is imbalance, Pitta may create hatred, frustration, jealousy, and criticism. Kapha, water. The third dosha, or humor, is a combination of water and earth. The qualities of this dosha include slow, cool, heavy, damp, static, and soft. It is the energy that is responsible for the formation of bodily structures. It acts like glue that holds human cells together. Aside from that, Kapha is also responsible in making sure that the supply of liquid needed for the life of cells in one's body are supplied and abundant. This is also to ensure that joints, skin, and bodily systems are lubricated and moisturized, so as to aid in the healing of wounds and keeping the immune system healthy and at par. When there is balance, Kapha creates vigor, calmness, stability, love, and strength. When there is imbalance, Kapha may create the emotion of lust, attachment, envy, and greed. In essence, the three doshas or humors work together in harmony in order to keep a healthy mind and body and spirit. They are responsible for all bodily metabolic processes. Kapha is anabolism and builds the body as it creates new cells for growth and repair. Pitta regulated the metabolism for healthy digestion and absorption. Vata is responsible for catabolism, the process necessary for the deterioration process, wherein the larger molecules are broken down into smaller ones, wherein an example would be digestion. Most illnesses are the result of the aggravation of the Vata. This is so because Vata is the principle of movement. It is responsible for moving both Pitta and Kapha. In fact, when there is imbalance in the Vata, both Pitta and Kapha are affected. In Ayurveda, the three doshas or humors also represents one's whole journey in life in three major milestones. The Kapha age is from birth to 16. The age of Pitta is from 16 to 50, and the age of Vata is from 50 to 100. The Kapha age represents the process of anabolism, as this is also the time of greatest physical growth and development. Imbalance at this age is manifested through lung congestion, mucus secretions, and cough. The age of Pitta, or adulthood, is a time of activity and vitality. Vata age governs the catabolic processes, and imbalance in this age may manifest through arthritis, tremors, breathlessness, and loss of memory.